people to acquire a set of beliefs and values regarding what is right and wrong. And the next definition offered by Ryan is that moral education refers to helping people acquire virtues or moral habits that will help them individually live good lives and at the same time become productive, contributing members of their community. So yeah, as we see the second definition again, the concept of community is highlighted again, which means that we can't observe the concepts of morality, education, or moral education as just a part of individual. We need to make sure to consider them to be a part of society and community, and to make sure to benefit the whole society by doing it. Okay, now let's see what is the role of moral education generally. So, firstly, moral education tries to nurture in children those virtues and values that make them good people. Well, why is this important? Because, again, when we live in the era of globalization, we will see that we have access to a lot of information. But again, it's very hard to differentiate and understand which values are moral and which are not. And to make sure that we can organize that properly, the role of moral education in schools and curriculum should be highlighted. The next thing is that moral education provides students with intellectual resources that enable them to make informed and responsible judgments about complicated matters of moral importance. So here, I would like to stress the word judgments. Why? Because moral education should not actually teach us values. It should give us some information and awareness in order for us to make some judgments and understand what is moral and what is not. That is to say, in schools, we don't have to teach them what is right, but should put them in the right way to understand themselves what is moral and what is not. And the last thing is that moral value-based education harmonizes the need for the student to achieve success in a competitive world and the need to be compassionate to his fellow beings. So what is important to consider here is that moral education does not ask all of us to be just humble and not do anything. Moral education actually encourages us to be competitive, but at the same time, you need to consider your fellows. All right, now let's pass on to the previous studies. One more. Okay, so we have discussed actually 3 studies that have been conducted previously in 4 different countries. The first one is about Singapore, where the author tries to understand what are the problems in the educational system related to moral education. The second